party right now.
Yeah, you want to have one?
I'm going right now to party.
Right? Okay. Eric Stromer, Cindy Bill, you listen to Home Wizards, and we talk a lot about improving our homes and improving our lives, but think about it. What's one of the main reasons we want our homes to look and feel good?
Well, because you want to show it off to others a little bit.
You want it when
people
bragging
come
rights.
Little bragging. That's all. Is that so wrong?
You want to celebrate the good times.
But this segment that we are about to embark upon, the hosts and hostesses, listen very carefully, because I am one of you. And usually we're not really engaged in the social aspect because we're working so hard, running back and forth between the oven and the refrigerator and the living room and serving and doing all the things we're supposed to do in these dinner parties. And I do love doing it, but you really are taken out of the loop. But there's a way to save the whole experience. And that's the following set of tips we're going to talk about. Because it's really important. It's really important that you are in the moment sometimes when you're throwing the party. Otherwise, it feels like you're the hired help.
It totally feels like you're in a factory.
Right.
You know? And so that is something that is easy to do. It might be easier than, easier said than done.
Right.
But if you just kind of are these things, then you won't feel like you're a victim, because it's inevitable that someone's going to arrive early, everyone's going to plow into the kitchen. You're going to feel like,
And you keep saying, no, you go out in that area.
Yeah.
But they all come and stand around you as you're trying to get 50 things done.
So why not make that become the party?
That's the spot.
So step one is you have to have kind of like an area where, as guests arrive, that they know right in the very beginning, as they come into the front door, either greet them with a beverage,
good,
or have like a little snack and bar station just maybe off to the side, where it gives them something to do.
It's a little sequester area.
It's a little.
It's like where the press has to go when the president comes in, right? They got to stand behind the rope. Oh,
you can give them an egg, maybe, you know. But this is an area for them to kind of feel that there's a purpose.
Sure.
Because I think people, when they come to a new place, they feel lost.
They do, and they want to do something.
Yes.
I certainly know. I feel a little awkward when I come to a dinner party at first, so why not give me something to do? It'll make me integrate into the process a little more effectively. And at the same time, you might learn a little something about your neighbor.
So there you go.
Right.
So what we're going to do is you're going to now allow that kitchen to be the place where people are going to go, because you know what? You can't keep them out. They're going to go.
No.
It's almost like it's like Pavlov's dog.
Right.
We all go in there. We're just like so trained to go in there. So why not, as you're anticipating the party, have a corner of the kitchen that you're going to reserve as the place where Eric and all of his friends can come and help. Because as it's going to happen. And so now it's almost like a prop for socializing. You give over maybe far end of the work zone. People know exactly where they can kind of linger. They're not really in your way completely, but welcome the help. They can do a little shopping.
You might even say, I'll tell you what, Don.
Yep.
You're going to be the onion guy.
Don
Draper. You're going to be the onion guy. Here's 4 onions you're going to need to cut up.
See?
Here's a knife. Here's a cutting board. Here's the onions. Here's the garbage can.
And Eric, I'd like you to fill the water pitcher. Could
you know
please
what?
go over
Doggone it, I'd love to help. Let me try that. Where's the water area? Right,
well,
right over there.
We want to help and
we want to know
important
what to do.
Yeah, and that also makes sure that you hide the signs of stress, because I think that is something that makes us all feel guilty as a guest.
Sure.
Watching the host do the dishes.
Oh, you better help with the dishes if you're a guest.
Or, and what you do, if you're in a big rush, use the dishwasher as your hiding spot for the dirty dishes.
Oh, good idea.
Because then, you know what I'm saying? Then
out of sight, out of mind.
People aren't feeling guilty. Or you might even, I've been to parties where they hire someone to help almost be like the dishwasher, just to kind of tuck it away.
That'd be my dad.
There you
He's
go.
Great
Does he
at
get paid to do this?
He gets paid in many ways that are
little
unseen.
Wine. I
little
know.
of that rosé that he's so passionate about. Yeah, that's right.
Oh my! And also, let them distribute the appetizers. Eric, could you please pass this
you
plate
know
of
what?
appetizers?
Doggone it, I'd love to have a try at that.
Could you take out that flatbread and some of the chips and dips? That'd be lovely.
And I'm going to show off a little bit about how I can cut things at the same time, right?
You can do two things at once.
There you go.
And all the while, keep some of the snacks, for the people who are like you helping in the kitchen too, so that you can have a little nibble.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? So that all the snacks aren't in the living room while you're, helping in the kitchen.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And also, I think, keeping stations specific, I think that's a really good tip. So you've got your cutting area, you've got your drinks area, like you said, with the bar. Mm-hmm. There's if you have, most of the kitchens now designed are honoring everybody being together. It's not like, you ever see these old houses where the kitchen is really small with a door and you goodbye everybody, I'm going to be back here behind the curtain, right? Well, now it's like we're all sort of sitting around the great room, right? So you've got an area where you can maybe have the music going, or you can watch the action as a spectator and drink the beverage, and the guy that keeps going, "Oh, you sure I can't help?" and he just keeps shoving peanuts in.
Well, and speaking of stations, it's a good idea, while you're doing all this preparation still, let's say, to maybe then have a specific area, if it is a dinner party, to move then to the dinner table. Then that becomes, now you've already made it through the appetizers and now the preparation. And now you actually go to the table, and there's place cards for everyone, and the seating, even though it might seem kind of formal, it actually makes people feel comfortable. It could be some little take-home gift that everyone gets. It can be very, very casual, in fact.
Now, let me back up just 1 second, if I may. Don't forget, if this is a party where you got kids too, and especially, and this is age appropriate, the older ones are going to want to be on the Game Boy or the in the other room. Great. Love it. Get out of here. Go outside, do your thing. The young, do your outside.
Then that becomes, now you've already
crayons, big things of paper, get them off on a little corner area and say, why don't you guys make the menu for the parent, whatever it is. Give them a task, have them do art stuff that gets them all in a certain area that'll
will de-stress everyone, is to then have dessert in the living room. And that way you relocate everyone for sweets and coffee, and it lets everyone stretch their legs and have conversation. And the best part is you're walking away from the dinner mess, and then people aren't feeling the guilt to
that they immediately have to help with dishes if you don't want them to, unless you do. Then you can say, hey, everybody, get in here. Let's do the dishes quick.
Together.
Yeah, but that area with the dessert is great. And the coffee, that can be a whole nother thing where you're doing serving station with tea and coffee and preparing to have it in a different area. Do you like doing that? You send people to a different spot than the dining room table for dessert?
I think it's fun. I mean, it depends on the occasion. Like, I think certain holidays, you might stay at the same table the whole time.
Right.
But, I mean, if you're just kind of having casual parties, it just depends what's going on. Like,
sure.
If it's a Super Bowl party, you're in front of the TV the whole time.
Right.
But it is kind of nice, I think, to have, to kind of go out to the living room area, Some more things to think about when it comes to music. Set it and forget it. Figure out who the music person is in your family and have him or her set up a playlist, turn it on, don't think about it again. Just make sure that it's long enough not to repeat songs, and then, isn't that great? You just have that going in the background.
You don't want to be DJing while you're making the roast beef and Yorkshire pudding. You just don't. Trust me.
In preparation for your dinner party, it's a good idea to make the last course first. You can even make it ahead. This is going to be, like, especially if you're making some kind of a pastry or something like this. Is a little more
great idea.
If you do it ahead, you can even, if you really are a chef, you'd like to make your own dough, let's say, you could even start that like days in advance.
Sure.
Or a cake or whatever, or even if, let's say, you're going to buy it, just get that off your list and have that done so you aren't stressing out.
Great idea. Yeah. And I'll tell you, things like lighting are really important too.
Yep.
And, it kind of sets the mood, obviously, as we all know. You can bring it down to have more intimate experience, or you can have sort of task lighting where it's time, the lights are up now, get up and start helping clean up, right? So that really can kind of give people cues of what you want to do, and that lighting works wonders.
And if you don't know your wine, don't be afraid to outsource it. You can share your menu and budget with a wine liquor store, and they'll be happy to help you, choose some really great wines so that you have a good party.
Boy, that's a great idea too, yeah.
Anyway, we have more fun ideas to talk to you about. As always, just check us out at yourhomewizards.com. We love to improve your home and improve your life.
While you place the flowers in